Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. Got something that I want to share with you. It's a data point, but it is a very alarming data point, in my opinion. I don't mean to be an alarmist or anything like that. I just bring you the facts. But I'm just kind of perplexed at the moment because the Laudato Si 2.0 will be released on October the 4th, which is the exact same day that FEMA will be doing a National Emergency Broadcast System test with the mobile phones. So I pay attention to this. I don't know if this is when they're gonna if this is a lead into them declaring a national a national climate emergency declaration or something to that extent. But let me read this to you and then you can put all your 2 cents together. So it says Pope Francis to release second Laudato Si on October the 4th. The season of creation will begin. Pope Francis said on September the 1st, which is the World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation. All of it sounds so creepy to me. It's really very alarming. But this is again another piece of information that most people who are not watching they're not putting it all together. So me with a whole lot of other watchmen are trying to keep you on top of what is happening with things in the spiritual world as it relates to end times and biblical prophecy. This is present truth, and so take it for what it is and use it with all the other data points that have been provided by me and others to know and understand the times that we're living in. I don't think that the mark is too far off. The beast infrastructure is almost in place, people. Pope Francis said Wednesday he will release a follow-up environmental document to the 2015 encyclical Laudato Si on October the 4th, the feast of Saint Francis of Assisi. Speaking at the end of his general audience August 30th, the Pope said he plans to publish an exhortation, a second Laudato Si, at the end of a Vatican-supported ecumenical initiative that will run from September 1st through October the 4th. Now, notice all this stuff is coinciding with the things that are happening out in space with the solar flares, the war amping up, all the weather stuff that's happening. I don't think any of this stuff is coincidental. It's just my 2 cents. Got my tinfoil hat on. The season of creation will begin, and Pope Francis said on September 1st, which is the World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation. This year's theme is Let Justice and Peace Flow. So y'all know when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction comes. That's what comes to mind with this to me. Let us join our Christian brothers and sisters. So it lets you know that they are different from us. They are apart from us, but they are joining with us. And I don't necessarily consider myself a Christian. I consider myself a believer or a follower of the way of the Most High. But this is interesting that he targets Christians. So pay attention to that. And it's not all Christians. It's certain Christians. Let us join our Christian brothers and sisters in the commitment to care for creation as a sacred gift from the Creator, Francis urged at his public audience. It is necessary to stand with the victims of environmental and climate injustice, striving to end the senseless war on our common home. Now, if these things were just natural disasters, why are they called injustice? Who is doing this? You know, if there's a labeling of injustice, it would mean that somebody's doing this and it's not fair. So who is the somebody? Is the somebody the Most High that they're talking about? Because these things are, you know, supposed to be just natural disasters, right? Okay. To end the senseless war on our common home, which is a terrible world war. So now the world war is climate. It's not living foul and debauchery and all this transhumanism and inequity because they're stealing all the resources and working people. Basically, people are slaves all over the globe. Not that. That's not an injustice. I urge all of you to work and pray for it to abound with life once again. Whatever. It's a bunch of word fluff. It's nothingness. It's government speak. Public authority speak. Just got to understand. Pope Francis announced last week that he is writing a second part to his 2015 environmental encyclical Laudato Si. That is the thing that is driving the transition to the NWO. You have to speak in code. And also, it is what is going to lead us to the mark of, you know, the opposite of being sealed by the Most High. All right. The Pope said with this new writing, he is updating Laudato Si to cover current issues, which to me means that he's probably getting ready to incorporate all of the organization that makes the owl sounds agenda in addition to those sustainable development goals from the N and the U flipped backwards. Sorry about all the code, but I have to say it that way. The Holy See Press Office Director Matteo Bruni confirmed to CNA on August 21st that the Pope is working on a letter updating Laudato Si with regard to the recent environmental crises, which means he probably already had it and they already know what the crises are because they planned them, but whatever. Laudato Si is the second of three encyclicals published in Pope Francis's pontificate thus far. It was released in June 2015. The theme of the encyclical, which means praise be to you, is human ecology, which is man's ecology. A phrase first used by Pope Benedict the whatever. I don't know which. Just forgive me. I don't have time to be trying to figure out which number was the Pope. Just not. The document addresses issues such as climate change, care for the environment, and the defense of human life and dignity. Interesting, as these people have been the authors of the destruction to the climate, they have not cared for the environment, and they have never defended human life and dignity. They support abortion, they support pedophilia, they support child molestation by their priests, they support slavery, and has never done repair for all that they've done, and let alone the killing of Jews, the changing of the Sabbath. They've done everything to ensure nothing on this earth works the way that the Most High has created it to. So the fact that this is coming out from them and it has this human ecology component to it, I mean, it just basically says everything you need to know. I mean, he's playing like he's God. He's God on earth. Basically, he's the creator. And he's telling you what you need to do to fix what they broke. Pope Francis said August 30th that the second part of Laudato Si would be the kind of papal document known as an exhortation. And so that is interesting that they use that word exhortation, um, because that's something that we should be doing to the Most High. We are not to engage in that activity with nothing but the Most High. So let me read you what the definition of exhortation is. Oh boy. It's as far as biblically anyway. So biblically, the term exhortation is usually interpreted as pure advising. However, the meaning of exhortation extends beyond that. And so in the Greek, it is called the comforter, a similar word with the Holy Spirit. It's a comforter. So this Pope is acting as if he is our comforter or our Holy Spirit. It's just really weird that he would use that word. Um, and it's also associated with the Esaunim, with religious tolerance. So, they have a totally different definition um, for what exhortation means. It's a form of worship, and it's meant for Yah's people. It's not meant for him to take and use towards his writings as if he is the Most High. We are supposed to use exhortation um, in order to learn how to love the Most High and to follow him in accordance to his law, statutes, and commandments, not this Laudato Si document. We're supposed to worship that and worship the Pope and worship the earth and the environment and all those types of things. So, when you start playing with these types of words, to me, it signifies something very sinister. And if you don't understand the transliterations and um, the true intent and nature of the word being used, you could easily be misled. And a lot of people are going to be misled and take the mark instead of the seal because they don't know any better. So anyway, it says Pope Francis said on August 30th that the second part of Laudato Si would be the kind of papal document known as an exhortation. Francis has so far published 5 apostolic exhortations during his pontificate, including the Evangelii Gaudium and Amoris Laetitia. The feast of St. Francis of Assisi was also the date in 2020 that Pope Francis chose to release his most recent encyclical, Fratelli Tutti, about fraternity and social friendship. So it's going to be interesting times. We got to pay attention to this next Laudato Si. I think it is really important because it's going to be a prelude to what's coming. And I don't know, again, because we don't know how close we are to this exodus before the restrainer is removed. We need to be hyper vigilant. We need to make sure we are obeying those laws, statutes, and commandments. And we need to make sure we are keeping the Sabbath. We need to be living and keeping ourselves holy and set apart. And I know that this is a very lonely journey for a lot of us because a lot of us are living separately from people, even our loved ones. You live in a household with people who are not believers. You live with, we're living in a world, and even amongst our own people who cannot see. People are under strong delusions, and people are just simply not aware of what's coming. So, I want to encourage you to stay in your word, stay connected in spaces, even if it's online where we are and we're trying to learn. For me, I get something from just having this online connection with our people, hearing, our men and women talk and teach, hearing them speak the truth, and even other believers. There are a lot of Gentiles who are aware of what is happening, and they're speaking out. And, it's a very interesting time to be living, but it's also a very sad time, because there's so many people who just do not get it, and they just live their lives as though they're going to get another opportunity to make it right, or they're going to live any kind of way and then try to clean up at the last minute, when you don't know when the last minute is coming, because you don't know how close you are to being stuck here and having to go through this period of sorrows. So, just make sure you are making things right, making peace with this wretched old life, and, trying to treat people the way you want to be treated, because we don't know when the restrainer will be moved, and we, have to endure all sorts of things because we weren't prepared, or because we underestimated, the power of the Most High. Let us be about our business of living holy and righteously, and observing the Sabbath, and making sure that we are fortified with the words of the Most High, in particular the Old Testament, because that's where all the truth is, especially if you're true Israel. Obey those laws, statutes, and commandments. Pray for forgiveness for sins of commission and sins of omission daily. And also pray for the awakening, because our brothers and sisters need to wake up. And although people are waking up and fighting, not enough of us are. And not enough of us are crying out. So pray for healing, pray for the awakening, and pray that our brothers and sisters come out of these strong delusions, because everybody seems to be thinking they got years and time. Time is running out. People are waking up, and the plans are not going as planned for the powers. So they are accelerating their plans, and that means we are going to be the collateral damage. So make sure you are keeping watch. That's what I want you to do. So this is a data point. Use it as you keep watch with me. All right. Love y'all. Link to this will be in the description. Also, links to my other channels and my social media are also in the description. Please follow me elsewhere, because I don't know when I'm going to get booted off this platform. But if the internet happens to go down and we are without anything, we all on our own. So learn while you can, get what you can, because the powers know that we're waking up, we're educating ourselves, and armed with knowledge is what they do not want. They want the people to be misled, under the strong delusions, and asleep. And that is not what this channel is about, like so many other channels. So stay focused, people. Love y'all. This is Marley K, and I'm out.